Alright guys, what's going on? We got some more videos coming out, and I adjusted my rakers to the highest setting on the West Coast saw setting, and it was still a little jumpy for bore cutting the really hard stuff. It wasn't bad in the oak, but the hickory and the beech, which are very hard, it was still very jumpy. And I wondered what the deal was, and I've got one of my old Husky gauges here. The metal's still soft, and I still like these raker gauges very well, but their high setting is still lower than the high setting on this one. I don't know how it compares to. It's about like putting it on the soft on the it's about like putting it on the soft setting on the Husky gauge. So that's why it's still been jumpy, because those are set a little shallower, which makes sense because the wood out there where they're cutting is most of the time a whole lot softer than the beech and the hickory here. But I believe that's why my saws are a little juddery in the bore, because the setting's low on here. Which I'm still going to use this, but if I'm cutting real hard wood like I have been, the hickory and the beech, I'm going to have to use something different, because I just can't. I've got to be able to bore cut the trees out here. I can get away with back cutting them, and these will work fine, but I can't back cut every tree. I just can't do it, because y'all seen how the trees fall here if you're back cutting. You cannot keep up with them. And I could cut them and have a 5-inch hinge, 4-inch hinge, maybe a 3-inch hinge stay on the stump. I don't want to do that. And or I could do it and pull a lot of fiber, but I don't want to do that either, because then you end up having to cut some of the butt end of the log off, or they dock you a little bit because you got fiber pull on the hardwood tree. So I'll just have to, depending on what kind of wood I guess I'm going to cut, is how I'm going to set this up and how I use these. I wish they would make one setting just a little further back, but I know these are probably more for the West Coast guys and trees, and the trees are a little softer. But I love these gauges as far as the hardness and stuff, and they'll be fine if you're. And I think that's the problem. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll find out here shortly, because I'm going to redo everything and set my gauges on the hardwood setting of that Husqvarna and see if I get the bucking and jumping like I did. But I still love these gauges, but that's just something to think about. I always say it, I'll be honest with you, I love West Coast saw stuff, but these, I believe, is the problem. These, in a bore cutting, very hardwood situation, these raker gauges aren't going to work for me. Unless I'm back barring it, or if I get into poplar and ash and walnut, cherry, stuff like that. But white oak, the red oak, it ain't terrible. I get a little bit of it, but white oak, beech, hickory, I'm gonna have to do something different. But anyway, that's just what I want to tell you, because on these videos coming up, you'll see it, and it's still bucking and jumping. I thought I had it straightened out, which I did raise it to the higher setting on the the very highest setting on the West Coast sawed gauge, and it's still not high enough. But anyway, we'll see it. And I ain't gonna swear that's the problem till I fix it and go try it and figure it out. But I think that's what the problem is. We'll see y'all on the next one. Have a good one.